Good afternoon. Fear of missing out. I'm told it's a thing, though apparently not enough of a thing for many people to realise that something interesting is going on that could be of benefit to them. I'm Andrew Vermesh, and today we'll focus attention away from problems to opportunities for this Module 7. Opportunities are not problems. Here at KT, we're not talking about things that have gone wrong and need correcting, but those circumstances which represent the possibility of something which is already okay, or good, or excellent, getting even better for you, for your team, for your organization. Opportunities are not just the business of strategy consultants and scenario planning gurus. They're there every day. Most of them we miss entirely. Some we spot a little too late to do anything useful with them. A few we bump into despite our inattention and progress with our projects, careers, and lives. There are, of course, more, and a reminder to you that there are more webinars this month, and if you've missed any of them, sign up for them here at Bright Talk and share with your friends and colleagues. Look out, please, for additional opportunities too, like the free e-learning on decision analysis available in May. You need to look at Module 6 for details of that. But now to today's agenda. This is all about noticing and making the most of your opportunities. So looking at ways to find opportunities, keeping your ear to the ground, how to make it more likely, and then we'll look at some actions for after the event as well. Where do opportunities come from? Look, change is all around. What was there yesterday may be different tomorrow. We're in the midst of some massive society change that we have no idea how to understand yet. Things may go back to business as usual, or they may be completely different in 6 months' time. We have no idea. So this is a great time to think about opportunities and making sure that you put yourself in the way of them and take advantage of anything that comes your way. So things to be looking at are circumstances, client needs, inventions, obsolescence. One thing leads to another. People around us innovate, customers have new experiences, and here are a couple of examples. So, New York fashion designer Christian Siriano turns his workshop to mass production. Lots of people are doing this. There are people making all kinds of things to help their health service using digital printers and all kinds of other devices to put them to new purposes. Now, the current crisis has sadly killed many people and had a profound impact on many more. For some, though, business has been absolutely fantastic. These are the folks who are in the right kind of field and who are agile enough to respond quickly. Often we don't respond quickly enough. Often we can't create an opportunity, but we certainly can make ourselves ready for it. These two organizations, 3M and Siriano, certainly were. Now, will we get a slide forward? There we go. First thing to do is to be alert to the value chain. All of you, all of us, we're making contributions somewhere along a value chain. In other areas, in your ITIL 4 books, in your lean books, you'll be alert already to the value chain and you'll notice things happening. And a couple of questions that are worth asking and answering. What kinds of events or external influences would help you to make a better contribution to any part of the value chain where you're involved? And if that benign circumstance showed up, what would you do to make the most of it? If you are interested in looking for opportunity, you are probably not conscious of doing it already, but of course you do. You keep an eye out every day for things that interest you. Perhaps it's Bruce Springsteen concerts. Perhaps it's discounts for your favorite purchases. You may already have set up alerts for that, or maybe you just bookmark favorite sites or news feeds to become aware of specific topics. So where should you be looking to get even more from your survey for opportunities? Keep your ear to the ground. Favorite English phrase in support of opportunity analysis. You'll be looking for things like market changes. In your business, around your businesses, what are the market changes? What process changes are going on? There are process changes all the time. ITIL is being uprated for IT professionals all the time. Lean is being expanded. Different methods are being put out there. Strategy changes are happening in organizations that you know, your customers and your suppliers and your own. New technology is rolling out. People are using more Teams, Zoom and other stuff. Organization changes inside and outside your organization may also represent an opportunity for you personally or for your team. And you'll be looking into these different media, Reddit, The Economist, The Register if you're in IT, to keep your ear to the ground. But now, to get extra advantage, do make sure that you follow feeds and people who are abreast of new developments in your industry. If you're an accountant in your business, you may need to see what's happening in engineering and IT. If you're in IT, you may need to follow the feeds for your company's business or the feeds of those who buy from you, or maybe those who regularly criticize your organization. Who are those opinion formers? One of the things that I like to do is to read the newspapers and business journals that I absolutely disagree with. If you're right-wing, read The Guardian. If you're left-wing, read The Telegraph. Make sure you understand what's going on outside your immediate comfort zone. The kinds of indicators for work-related opportunities will be changes in any of these 5 areas and some others. Some of these you'll also get from coffee station gossip. Ignore that at your peril because you may miss out. So, keeping your ear to the ground. Sign up for channels that you're not already on. Now, let's have a look at a specific way for you to focus your attention. Like all things KT, we like to divide our thinking into different categories that enrich the focus and provide useful insight. So, looking at your current role, or maybe the one you'd like to have, start with one of the ways you add value, and then look for potential, followed by any factors that either are or perhaps could be in your way. Then what do you do about that? Finally, what benefit could be realized by your team or you or the organization or the customers? So, starting with my role, what's the current value? Going to the left, what's the potential value? What are the barriers to adding that extra value? What's your proactivity? How can you overcome those barriers? And then what's the way of realizing the benefit in all of that? So there's the focus, and here's an example coming up. So this is for you IT folks. Some of you may be change managers and you may already had these kinds of thoughts. So the role here, a change manager. This person de-risks changes. In other words, tries to predict anything that might go wrong with an IT upgrade or a new project or a new database or a transfer to the cloud or out of the cloud, whatever they're doing. So they find drawbacks in implementation plans and suggest some mitigating actions. And this particular individual says they could add more value if they saw what was happening earlier in the process. In other words, before the change was submitted. But unfortunately, the interesting stuff, all of the development, the architecture, the way in which the thing is designed, happens before the change request is raised. Change requests are often raised quite late in the process. So what's the proactivity here? Well, looking at project reports to see potential improvements, finding ways to make changes smoother and make suggestions to sprint team during the development phase while the thing is being created. But in order to do this, the change manager, who may or may not be highly technical, needs to understand the world of the full stack developer so they can dig into the dirty detail. And that's one key area for lots of opportunities, digging into the dirty detail in the processes that lead to your contribution. Because if you can improve your inputs, you can certainly improve your outputs. Now, what would be the benefit realized at the bottom here? Could be better architecture, better user adoption, reduced support load, avoiding new technical debt. So there's just an example for you to have a look at. Now, I'd like you to work on your own example. If you go to the attachments, as many of you have, you'll find the KT Module 7 case. And I'm going to ask you now to spend a couple of minutes having a look at that. It's just very short, one-pager document there. And you can see on screen the role, benefits, value, potential barriers, and proaction, bubbles. Use that as your architecture for the opportunities that you can see and how can this individual, James, make a better contribution. So have a go at that for a couple of minutes. And as always, if you're looking at this afterwards in the recorded version, then download the case and have a go. Why not? If you want to ask me about it at any point, please do email me. You'll get the email address at the end. And but for now, let's have a look at the contributions from the audience. Okay, there's a useful thought about the barriers there. And as you're putting in your contributions, let me just show you the example that I had. This is not meant to be complete by any means, but here's an example of what James, the taxi product manager, might have been thinking. So what does he do to add value? He devises new ways to match taxi services to consumer needs. And he could add more value with greater visibility of behavior. And there's this example where his inspiration came from. But he doesn't have the visibility of driver movement. So what can he do proactively? Well, if we reprogram the app, we could find out where the gaps are in the driver's schedules and actually help to fill them with other kinds of deliveries. And as you can see, there's a potential for other ancillary services. So you could imagine that the driver going from A to B could on the way pick up a parcel at C and drop it at D without disturbing the consumer riding at all. So lots of other things could be slipped in if we had a really rich trajectory around drivers' behavior and where they're moving around and where the gaps are, particularly what the next jobs might be. So there's an example of opportunity analysis in action. Now let's go to your task for the day. So I'm going to suggest you make a calendar appointment in Outlook for 15 minutes each day. Take this diagram, paste it in to remind you to list opportunities in whatever topic you want to generate more opportunities for. Make notes about this daily. Start looking for ways in which your current value could become greater, what the potential is, what the barriers are, what the proactivity is that you can add to that and the benefits. You won't find anything all the time, but it's worth keeping a look on a regular basis. And now, Let me direct you a little bit to future e-learning. If you happen to be interested in all this, you'll find e-learning modules on this and other topics there, and opportunities to learn a great deal more about it. You also find in the attachments links to the problem-solving class if you want to extend your skills in this area beyond what we can do in these 15 minutes. Please always get in touch with me on this URL and at @Andrew at Twitter, and look forward to hearing about your experiences as you try these methods. Thanks very much. Bye-bye for now, and see you tomorrow, those of you.